Testing. Kita tes yang ketiga ini pak, resolusinya udah gue kecilin jadi 720p doang tapi 60 fps ya. Kita lihat ya kalau masih stuttering berarti wah, tapi harusan enggak lah kalau cuma ya masih sih stuttering sih, tapi ini sih udah yang biasanya komputer sudah yang paling rendah sih. Ini kalau lagi mesti dikecilin minimum. Mungkin sekali itu dalam pemeriksaan 12 masih bacanya sih kalau aduh recover goal koloni lihat the financial to the plastic Australia scholar area dia bilang dia semua Indonesia dulu kalau berkenaan itu ya Allah, ternyata bukunya ada beberapa. Coding overload. Sebenarnya ini kayaknya sih bukan masalah ini. Initial hold. It's been difficult. But I will not speak on the phone. Their father. I'm allowed to cross the threshold. City. No sé si Devastakan banget. Yang ada terbanyak kilafan melakukan mungkin biasa dia menggunakan telepon. Akan menjadi macam apa namanya? La semana iba a la hacienda y se tiene la cosa por the sun and the very unusual the source reflection that the given or like la. Bitrate udah diturunin. Apa karena rame signing off for you today.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark. and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently. They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Level 81, tapi belum ada apa-apa. TV sambil berganti ingatan acknowledgement on the beginners. Ini kita take the request dari from this mission and the request is but the ultimate answer will follow. Boleh lari sih. Ya, tadi kalau dungeon sambil apa kita dungeon ngelag berarti susah deh streaming.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
The Northern Empty Labyrinthos. Di zone di bawah gitu.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, but they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then. Ugh. Did you call to me just now?
Hmm?
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Grizzly Mars. Mesti dia ngomong. Heart of Stone Mastery. No. Chip. the same official sampai tidak apa yang baru itu jelas. Ini yang ditikarkan graphic setting kita standar desktop. Iya sih, Take you don't leave me to your Did you give me the ordering was for engaging someone after me? Nah ini sih udah enak sih, udah nggak stuttering ya, berarti emang nggak kuat berarti dari VGA nya tuh. Nah ini udah bagus tuh. Ciurannya gini bener-bener berubah. Dekan akhir kamu bahwa belum the founder. Dia dan alkohol bisa sudah pulang. Into the designated location. Apa sih? Ya. Hornbill.
Fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
Fiera cowok.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidio, thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Good.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Mansa ke sebelah sana kan. Consider returning down. Stone Mastery. Small one. Bukan ada nasi baik bed.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild, with too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track. We've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such...
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the arcade? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Well, would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions, and no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all... Crier?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
I can almost reach you.
bibit upload anita tanagam ini ini totem buat combaan. Bibit. Gampang sih sebenarnya kalau apa kalau lagi leveling gini tinggal lihat tempat yang ramai begini. Oh, itu di situ tujuannya.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlian scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interest at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate the toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Iron udah nyampe tahunnya sih. semua kaskin, tapi kalau di skip sih cepet sih. Dia mau lepas 1,5, tapi belum masuk dungeon. 82, 84 Ancient Aura, 84 Ancient Mastery, Gift Capacity Kin Age, Brutal Shield and Solid Barrel, Enhanced Continuation, Become Ready to Blast. Ini sih cuma ada 80, 90, sama Hyper Facility sih 8 double down. PPP. Grill di mana? Skirt of Swords. Aduh, gede lagi nih tempatnya. Lebih maker of this and Nagamangano, Indonesia, in the vicinity of the farm. Vicinity of the farm. Aduh, ini kayak begini nih. Nanya where's grill, bro? Where's grill? Vicinity of the farm. Mana si grill lah? Where's grill, bro? Grill apa sih? Oh, yang berjalan. Rame-rame apa nih?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead. Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you.
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, It was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That blue will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was, once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Master Fortuno? What business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
It is not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policy-making process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, The positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. but there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Dikit.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Review. Terus ini gara-gara begini nggak bisa.
Welcome home, my lady.
What? What are you gawping at? Oh, gods, please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid, the triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
ganti baju.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking.
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphina.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days. As a student, he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Buru 82 sih. Harusnya dungeon dulu baru 82 nih. Gue dari tadi sih MSQ terus udah 81 belum ketemu dungeon.
Your time in Thavner has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavner.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Arenvold and Fudola's report, they were unable to free the Emulger. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained. And I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Cryo, Yostela, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Archosaurus by a considerable. If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armaments to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Radzit Khan of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
A military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental etherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Ini 115 gil. Aduh. Salah jalan. Menyebabkan satu sih. Ada ceritanya. Kalau skip doang ya jadi begitu deh kayak gitu. Gue juga habis dibunuh-bunuh kan. banyak banget orang di situ. Is this the future of Ngerkis dia air sana. The tower bringing forth shall be the deities of the earth. Anyone which is cooperated to animation and confronting them. We commence everything anymore. Okay, bos. Siap. Dream the Tower of Zot. Now accessible. Nungguin Iron ya. Lu udah sampai mana Ron? Udah sampai mana lo?
Gimana kasih tau nih?
Ya lu lagi ngapain sekarang?
Gue lagi apa nih? Glorified Red Catcher. Speak. Kan di kota kita kan ada yang kebagi dua kan questnya kan?
Ya betul. Lu quest yang pertama udah kan, yang ke Tarvannya udah kan?
Yang gajah-gajah gue udah tuh.
Ya udah nggak jauh sih dari situ kok. Lu tinggal kelarin itu, lu asal lu juga skip terus kan? Nggak nonton. Iya, cepet.
Makanya gue udah 81 nih.
Iya, cepet. Ini gue 81 setengah lebih lah. Ini gue udah baru quest yang masuk dungeon yang pertama nih.
Oh. Tapi kalau nunggu mah lama nggak?
Enggak lah, lu skip doang kan. Ya gue sambil ini aja, gue sambil nunggu lu sambil roulette aja. Force a party. Tank dan trigger. Stage. Oke baik. Daftar di party finder aja, ini pertama kali nih, nggak ngerti apa-apa Ron. Average item level 500 lu udah nyampe kan?
Apa?
Average item level 500.
Udah. Kan gue beli kemarin.
Yo, dan nggak ngerti apa-apa bosnya lol. Gue ada lihat di stream orang sih. Apa yang ini yang kan ada mereka kan kayak content creator kan waktu itu kan di-invite-invitein kan, beta gitu kan, di-invite-invitein. Terus ada di YouTube bosnya. Ya ntar lu cobain aja lah. Ya udah sambil nunggu lu gue ini aja roulette aja dulu.
Berapa jauh nih dari lu nih?
Enggak sih, lu kalau udah sampai nangkep tikus itu terus ntar turun ke bawah, lu paling lamanya cuma ini doang Ron, lamanya cuma nyari NPC paling ntar nyari NPC. Tapi kalau lu skip semua cerita
di mana Grizzle Mouse
ya itu nyari tikus terus tiga
mouse sih gampang, lihat aja yang rame.
Iya, nah itu benar lihat aja yang rame, nggak salah lu. Gue juga nyarinya, ini rame, ada apa nih? Oh di sini. Ya udah, gue sekalian apa? Gue roulette pakai apa ya? Pakai ini, kayaknya sayang ya roulette pakai ini. Gue roulette pakai, gue naikin healer aja deh.
Emang cepet ya?
Kenapa? Hah?
Apa namanya? Untuk lo roulette cepet ya?
Cepet.
Bukannya orang harusnya masih pada quest semua?
Oh ini karena roulette gue pasti dapetnya roulette yang belakang. Roulette yang sebelumnya Ron. Karena kan dungeon yang ini kan belum gue buka. Udah gue buka, cuma kan iya ntar gua roulette leveling tau dapat ya nggak boleh yang leveling berarti. Untung gue ingetin nggak boleh roulette leveling. Kalau roulette leveling dapat tapi nggak bisa juga Ron. 81 minimal ini dungeon nih 81 kan, ini kan gue punya healer kan masih 80 kan. Iya bener, ya udah berarti udah sambil nunggu lu gue roulette sekali aja yang leveling. Roulette pakai healer jadi biar gue dapat bisa main heal ntar kalau
itu lumayan kalau nonton semua lama ya jadinya.
Lama gue dari jam 4 Ron.
Iya kalau tiba bentar lagi udah mau ke balap gue berarti lama banget dong kalau nonton semua.
Betul, ceritanya lama dan ya bener ya serah sih ya, kalau menurut gue sih agak sayang, cuma ya udahlah.
Sayang apa maksudnya?
Maksudnya ya tapi lu juga udah nggak ngikutin ceritanya, tapi ya udahlah.
Iya, gue memang nggak tahu dari awal ceritanya apa.
Lu kalau udah nggak tahu dari awal ya udah sih.
Wow aja sampai sekarang gue nggak tahu ceritanya apa.
Iya, maksudnya ya udah kalau emang yang nggak peduli cerita mah ya udah.
Ada ether current, ambilin dulu deh.
Ambilin aja ya karena itu mah nggak ada ruginya ya. Astaga, duty roulette leveling 27 menit dong. Kagak ada yang daftar, nggak ada yang daftar roulette kan. Semuanya pada main skenario quest semua. Ih jahatnya. Ini healer loh.
Berarti nanti kalau yang quest dungeon sama dong?
Apa?
Lama dong?
Oh enggak, justru rame Ron kalau itu. Karena ini gua roulette yang di bawah level 80 ke bawah kan. Kalau kita pas quest daftar yang dungeon itu mah cepet banget itu pasti. Ini rame nih di tempat gue nih Ron. Di tempat gue ini orang lagi pada ngumpul. Ya sebenarnya kita juga bisa pakai yang itu loh, trust system.
NPC.
Iya, yang NPC. Iya, benar bisa juga. Cuman ya udah nunggu aja bareng aja lah. Biar lebih biar lebih meriah. Wipe bareng-bareng kan lebih seru kan daripada wipe sendiri kan. Sama-sama nggak ngerti ini ngapain ya. Auto mati Waduh, gua tanknya lagi. Ini gue udah nyalain experience juga nih Ron nih, apa buff build. Di atas lu ada kan, di kanan atas kan tuh reduce rate sama the hit of battle. Itu dari itu buff dari guild kita. Jadi experience naik sama apa lu kalau pindah-pindah teleport apa itunya ongkosnya dikurangi.
Tapi biasanya lu memang nyalain kan? Ini gue lihat lu ada saya nyalain.
Iya, biasanya sih kalau gue main sih gue nyalain. Kalau biasa kalau enggak. 29 ya udahlah sambil nungguin lu juga.
Oh ini food yang gue dapat dari sebelumnya mah pakai aja ya, dapat XP ini.
Iya, tapi ini sih kalau cuma ngomong-ngomong doang sih ya sayang. Maksudnya itu pakainya kalau pas di dungeon, Ron.
Oh.
Jadi pas masuk dungeon minum dulu atau makan dulu. Makan langsung udah tuh dapat buff 3% kan. Ya ini lumayan cepat lah. 19. Jadi gue pas kayak sore gitu kan apa jam 4 tuh masuk awal-awal kan 700 orang tuh antrinya. Terus kayak sekitar jam 6 gue DC, Ron.
Ya gue tadi pas lagi ngantri aja DC, Cak.
Iya aduh DC. Terus pas masuk lagi 4.000 dong. Ngantri 4.000 buset tuh sudah tuh. Terus gue tinggal mandi tuh. gue tinggal berak, gue makan dulu, balik baru ada lagi. Ini PC gua streaming FF kayaknya berat ya, kayak apa ya, nggak tahu ya.
Bedanya apa?
Hah?
Bedanya apa?
Iya makanya semuanya sebenarnya settingan streamingnya sama, cuman kan beda game kan sama WoW. Gua dari tadi streaming kok apa antara streamingnya patah-patah gitu loh, kalau lagi apa mungkin karena ini kita rame kali ya kan, soalnya kan tadi kan rame tuh ya di apa di kota banyak orang kan, jadinya mungkin ya VGA-nya yang nggak kuat, Ron.
Oh, keramaian gitu.
Iya kayak jadi tuh gara-gara apa kan ini kan gua streaming kan pakai VGA kan, encoding videonya kan pakai VGA juga, jadi kayak kebagi gitu loh. Gue juga main apa jadi streamingnya nge-lag patah-patah. Gue main juga kayak kesendet-sendet gitu loh. Antara prosesornya nggak kuat atau VGA-nya nggak kuat. Terus akhirnya gue turunin nih apa settingan VGA-nya gue turunin. Jadi nggak.
PC lu udah bagus harusnya.
Iya makanya gue bilang gile masa bisa ya prosesornya udah lama sih, udah 5 tahun yang lalu sih. Sama gamenya berat juga sih, sama gue pakai streaming kan. Kalau cuma main doang aman, Ron. Cuma main doang sama kalau dulu kan gue kan cuma nge-recording kan ya, kagak apa recording pakai Nvidia Play itu ya. Kalau recording doang aman. Kalau sama streaming gue jadi berat. Gue sampai gue turunin loh ini apa video grafiknya nih, jadi kayak yang standar gitu, bukan yang high. Cepat sih Ron sih kalau skip story dong, lu mungkin mah bisa duluan 90 kali.
Pikir lu mainnya lebih lama.
Iya, bener ujung-ujungnya sama. Jadi kayak gue mainnya lebih lama. Terus ya gue kan mainnya
cuma jam 9 malam baru mulai.
Iya, ujung-ujungnya bisa sama kita, Ron ya, karena gue kan sambil nonton story-nya, bacain ceritanya. Lol. Dungeon 82. Iya ini
yang disuruh. Waiting ini yang susah kliknya nih di lantai.
Ya, tapi lu udah ini kan apa yang objeknya udah minimum kan?
Udah. Kalau yang bawahnya tuh apa sih? Open window.
Oh, itu gua nggak tahu sih. Itu gua diamin aja sih 30 juga kan. Nggak tahu itu apa. Yang pasti sih jadi pas gua cari-cari di Reddit sih orang itunya bilangnya itunya ya jadi bisa diklik sih, kalau enggak pas awal-awal gue juga kan tadi ini NPC dikerubutin nggak bisa diklik sama sekali. Gue pengen slash target NPC-nya nggak bisa, nggak kayak di WoW. Ada 5 karakter.
Dungeonnya di mana dia emang ya?
Di yang Tough Nair yang tadi loh, yang lu naik kapal sama si gajah.
Oh.
Iya di situ, dungeonnya di situ. Kan kita
Ya udah gue belum balik ke sana.
Iya belum, nah nanti lu abis yang itu lu disuruh balik abis yang quest yang ini nih yang lu sekarang nanti lu disuruh balik ke sini. Nah itu dungeon deh udah. Kayak gue
Habis
sekarang.
tembak peluru. Hijau.
Warna hijau udah benar dapat ya.
Udah. Tembaknya semuanya.
Oh lu tembakin semua.
Tembak semuanya.
Itu tembaknya yang warna hijau ya. Yang gede yang warna hijau. Ini paling
banyak banget yang nonton ya.
Iyalah, Ron. Biasanya yang beli yang udah pre-order early access ya yang entusias lah bilangnya kan. Yang entusias biasanya kan yang ya mayoritas yang nonton lah. Kayak gue. Iya kayak gue ya nonton. Ya ada cuskin ya gue nonton gitu kan. Ada cuskin nonton, ada ya gitu lah. Soalnya lu kalau udah ngikutin ceritanya, lu skip ya sayang. Maksudnya lu jadi ya bener bagus sih ceritanya sih. Lanjutan gitu kan lanjut dari yang
tapi nanti nggak naik level kan?
Iya.
Kalau gue.
Iya kalau lu kalau lu karena jamnya terbatas ya susah. Ini duty leveling jadi lama nih gara-gara mungkin kalau duty levelingnya kalau lu udah level 81 itu cepat. Kalau lu udah level 81 dan udah ngebuka dungeonnya nih tapi dapetnya itu terus dungeonnya sampai enak lu. Ngerti udah maksud gue kan? Kan begitu lu buka 81 dungeon yang pertama tuh. Nah, lu roulette yang berikutnya lu pasti dapetnya itu terus tuh. Yang 81. Ini kan masih 80. Ya tapi soalnya nih kalau job kedua gini levelingnya ya dari roulette kayak biasa. Ya job yang kedua ya udahlah gue naikin scholar SCH sama summoner kan sekalian jalan. Melee DPS. Dragon sih bagus gitu kayaknya sih itu kalau gue lihatnya tadi.
Ini gue lihat kayak gak ada yang banyak berubah ya masinis ya. Cuman jurusnya ganti doang, tapi nggak ada nambah.
Iya.
Ada nambah jurus gitu loh.
Iya. Pertama spread shot mastery, oke, ini ganti jadi scattergun.
Kan cuman ganti doang kan?
Enhance reassemble jadi ada 2 charge, oke.
Terus yang terakhir jurusnya si Queen.
84 oke naikin ini 86 oke 86 ada tambahannya si Queen ya kita nggak usah ngapa-ngapain Queen's Gambit 88 Equation sama di 90 doang Ron dapetnya Ron di 90 dapat chainsaw kita
apa tuh?
Itu kayaknya dapat 90 tuh chainsaw instan.
Oh cuman
deliver an attack instant enemy strike line before 550. Oh, potensinya sama kayak drill sama kayak air angkor sih.
Tapi instan.
Ya instan, sama kan, bukan instan. Kagak ada yang nge-cash lah kita di sini.
Bukan maksudnya dia ada cooldownnya juga.
Ada semenit cooldownnya, Chainsaw.
Oh, semenit.
Iya, drill kan 20 detik kan, drill 20 detik, air angkor 40 detik. Yang ini semenit, jadi kayak 20, 40, 60 Ron. 20, 40, 60 detik lu ada jurus yang sakit. Potensinya sama, makanya kan si reassemble jadi 2 charge kan. Ya oke lah, maksudnya ya masinis juga udah enak kok mainnya kalau ditambahin jurus-jurus aneh-aneh jadi apa ya ribet.
Lu tambah tombol lagi mau taruh di mana ya?
Nah iya, tapi ini enaknya cuma tambah 1 doang kan kalau
makanya
kan.
Main.
Iya, ini kalau gue Gunbreaker malah tombol yang jadi tombol yang dulu kayak dijadiin 1 gitu loh Ron. Tombol yang jadi tadinya kayak 3 tombol yang berbeda dijadiin 1 gitu loh biar jadi nggak makan tempat jadi enak sih jadi bagus sih. Tadinya shift 1 terus continuation kan shift 1 petik shift 2 petik shift 3 petik ya sekarang gue bisa shift 1 terus shift 1 jadi yang berubah satu tombol doang. Ini orang-orang dapat mount keren-kerennya, gue dapatnya dari mana? Coba tuh ini barding ini bagus banget. Shampoo head. Gunbreaker 508 bisa lah ya, ngeteng lah ya. Masa nggak bisa sih? Paling mati. Hah?
Halo?
Paling mati ya Ron.
Tinggal tuh healer.
Iya, tinggal salin healer ya. Heal me.
Iya.
Heal me, I'm dying.
Minimumnya 500 ya?
Iya, minimumnya 500. Lagian lu dari quest yang lain lu dapat itu kok, lu dapat apa?
515 ya,
iya,
berarti.
Dapat 515 terus kok. Iya, Dungeon Endwalker, Tower of Zod, Vitra, the Great Worm of the First Blood, and the Hidden Satrap of Wild Sathan has beat the Science Cross to Narun Air and mount a foray into the tiny island another spire. Teloporoy structure known by the local known as the...
Aduh, di mana nih kliknya nih? Investigate the stack box.
Di atas dia di itu Ron, di kayak ada bukit lu mesti naik.
Iya, itu udah rame banget orang yang gua nggak bisa klikin.
Oh ya, lu mesti geser-geser dikit sih kameranya. Kalau nggak lu yel aja, woi minggir.
Lagi pada nonton video semua cat.
Kalau enggak ini sih Ron, kalau enggak nih lu klik satu orang kan dia kan targetnya kan itu kan, targetnya si box di targetnya kan kayak destination gitu kan. Nah, lu klik tuh destinationnya tuh.
Nah, tapi gimana? Emang kalau klik doang langsung ngomong?
Ya enggak sih, lu mesti klik lagi. Enggak, seenggaknya lu tahu lokasinya kan. Oh, di sini nih, bisa lu paksa-paksa.
Habis.
Aduh, nih nggak nambah-nambah nih. Roulette mentok di nomor 10.
Tanto nggak jadi leveling?
Tanto lagi nunggu apa? Lagi nunggu kerjaannya beres dulu katanya. Si Irep tanggal 7 baru ada. Irep, Leo tanggal 7. Jadi si Eko ada ini nih. Si Eko ada chat gue. Di gue streaming kan. Chat main sendiri, haha. Ada Iron nih. Oh, ada Iron katanya. Terus tadi si Bonbon tuh Bonbon kan?
Oh.
Iya, si Bonbon juga. Wah, udah main aja katanya. Kok ada gajah katanya. dia kan di Tonberry ya. Di Tonberry ngantrinya 8.000 apa tadi dia bilang. Pas tadi sore kata gila katanya dia mau ngantri 8.000. Gue bilang gue di Kujata 4.000 sih tadi sih.
Ibu berapa lama? Tadi gue 1.300 aja hampir 50 menit.
Oh, soalnya mungkin gue waktu yang sore-sore mungkin banyak yang DC kali ya. Kalau yang udah makin malam kayak makin yang orang kan makin ini kan. Yang apa bilangnya? Ya udah persisten lah bilangnya lah. Jadi gue cepet sih yang sore sih. Gue tinggal mandi, tinggal boker, tinggal mandi, balik-balik udah tinggal kayak 400 gitu, cepat juga dari 4.000.
Apaan sih jadi kodok?
Oh iya gitu lah. Lewatin jembatan. Jadi kodok. Nah, lu kalau kagak nonton cutscene cepet tuh, Ron. Kalau nggak nonton cutscene sama sekali itu habis itu tuh, lu langsung di rumah. Langsung disuruh ke rumah. Nah, udah tuh dari ke rumah itu lu cutscene lu skip lagi. Nah, udah ngejar ini. Udah sama kayak gue. Jadi deh gue jangan leveling deh roulette.
Gue ngapain nih? Gue udah dalam lingkaran. What's your surrounding? Nggak bisa. Ini gue jadi kodok, gue harus ngapain?
Coba lihat ini apa lu jadi apa namanya?
Add to the water sugar and accompanied by effort. Lo kan ada?
Coba lu live.
Oh.
Watching the screen. Ya enggak, bukan ini escape, lewatin ininya, lewatin apa? Ya, lewatin. Terus lu
Lingkarannya buat apa?
Enggak, itu cuma itu kayak kanan ke kanan. Nah, ya situ. Naik. Iya, naik situ. Ya di situ harusnya rame di situ. Jangan usah ikutin jalan dia. Naik aja situ. Di situ harusnya rame ini. Waduh, oke. Ya udah.
Wih, jago amat.
Nah, tuh rame kan.
Itu lingkaran apa di bawah tadi?
Itu kayak lingkaran cuma apa sih, sightseeing doang lah, info gitu. Skip. Nah, ini lama nih di sini nih filmnya nih. Tuh kan, lu escape ini lu udah motong 15 menit kali.
Masa videonya 15 menit?
Lama, ini lama yang ini, videonya lama karena ini kayak apa bilangnya kayak key. Nah, ini nih key. Enggak, yang ini kayak video cuma 5 menit doang. Nah, yang habis ini nih. Habis ini kan lu kan apa? Speak with Shitola di itu di mana tuh? Oh, enggak, ini balik ke tempat tadi yang farm itu tuh. Ya, situ. Balik ya, situ. Naik mon aja, Ron.
Lebih cepet ya?
Iya.
Gue kayak lebih deket.
Ya boleh naik mon atau lu mau portal. Gila, ini roulette traveling sama roulette trial nggak laku, Pak. Pada lagi leveling semua.
Ya soalnya nggak leveling kan nanti aja belinya.
Tanggal 7 langsung gas ya. Yes, 81. Wah, itu sih pas tanggal 7 sih lebih antriannya lebih gila lagi sih.
Aduh.
Ya, itu ke bawah situ. Lucius Imrik. Terus nah, dia di atas bukit yang merah tuh, di atas bukit itu tuh ya. Kan ada garis kayak C gitu kan, dia naik.
Apa ini?
Hah?
Mohon apa ini?
Oh, itu mohon apa, gue juga nggak tahu kan. Kayak naik bukit ya, ini orangnya ada di bukit. Gue tadi ini lama nih di sini nih nyari nih. Mana dia? Oh, ada di bukit. Di atas itu.
Di sini gitu.
Di itu tuh di bukit yang sebelah sana.
Di sini.
Itu kan ada
Angkanya di atas ini pada jalan tuh.
Iya, ikutin dia pada jalan bener. Iya.
Bisa lompat. Oke, lompat.
Karena ada untungnya sih main kayak ini awal-awal nih ikutin.
Udah tahu jalan yang ini nih.
Ikutin entah dia tahu jalan atau ini lu punya ini burak banget. Bukan salah, bukan sini. Kayaknya justru yang sebelah sana sih Ron, gue lupa lah bisa di bukit sebelah sana tuh, yang di sebelah kiri.
Ini.
Enggak sebelah kiri.
Ini.
Enggak, bukan dia, kayak di situ sih. Gue nggak bisa ngeliat mouse nih.
Oh.
Itu rame-rame.
Itu dekat tante ya.
Gampang ya katanya, itu rame-rame. Iya, ini. Nah ini kayak 5 menit nih kaskinnya. Ya lu klik, ya udahlah. Skip. Search for krill udah. Nah tadi lama tuh Ron. Yang tadi lama banget itu kaskinnya tuh kalau lu nonton. 9 menit. Lama banget, 10 menit ada kali. Ya ini juga agak lama kaskinnya. Nah lu udah nih lu udah deket gue ini, bukan udah deket lagi. Udah sama ini. Disuruh ke bawah terus kan. Nah udahlah gue nggak usah daftar inilah, trial lah. Tutup aja withdraw, ganti jadi gunbreaker lagi.
Reviewer. Ada belum tuh?
Oh lu belum atun ya kesana ya?
Nggak tahu.
Oh iya,
coba.
lu nggak bisa atun, jangan atun Ron. Jangan atun itu nggak, lu mesti jalan ke sana sama NPC-nya. Nggak.
Oh, ini kayak yang sebelumnya ya.
Lu mesti jalan sana. Kalau lu atun dia hilang NPC, lu mesti balik ke sini.
Iya. Ini sebelumnya gue pernah beberapa kali keulang lagi.
Ya, ini lu mesti jalan. Jalannya juga nggak bisa pakai mount lagi. Kalau pakai mount kecepatan kan dia hilang.
Kalau kayak si gajah, dia diem tuh kejauhan dikit ASM apa tuh.
Kiri, enggak kiri, lurus. Nah ini yang kayak gini-gini ini kayak point of interest gitu loh. Jadi kayak dia kayak ada cerita gitu dulu dia di situ ngapain begitulah.
Waduh, ramai amat.
Iya biasa lah. Di sini juga agak.
Ya untung ini naik di atas sih.
Itunya ya apa? Tim bola naik.
Iya.
Ya ini escape. Speak bit la. Ya balik ke situ. Ngomong la di terus lu. Nah ini ke bawah aja pakai Ether shard ya, pakai Ethernet ke bawah. Nah, ke bawah situ.
Kemana tuh?
Tuh situ tuh. Lu klik aja, dia kan udah ini ya, sekarang kan udah ada mapper Ron, enak kan?
Iya, jadi baru gampang.
Yoi, Arcon design ya, ini masuk ke ruangan. Ini ada kaskin lagi, ya udah lu skip aja lah udah. Ini ada kaskin lagi.
Ini udah tim dungeon nih.
Udah tim dungeon betul. Iya, ngomong, ya terus skip lagi kaskinnya. Ada kaskin gak sih? Harusnya ada sih kaskin. Ya kan, bacot dulu. Bacot dulu. Dia quest yang kill gitu emang agak aman. Nah ini balik ke yang Tarvanian. Nah ada nih sama kayak gua Ron. Persis. Itu klik dong itunya.
Nggak ada ininya ya?
Ah itu di bawah situ tuh. Di bawah. Iya gitu tuh, itu. Ya.
Mahal amat.
1000 ya dulu kan 999 kan yang paling mahal kan. Sekarang udah bisa lebih dari 1000. Ini gua invite deh. Member.
Tapi gua mesti ke sana kan?
Iya, lu mesti ke sini. Ya, lu sampai buka dulu. Jangan berenang dong.
Malah jatuh.
Oh ya lu jatuh. Gue makan yang naikin stamina deh biar nggak mati lol. Gathering perception, oh ada nih vitality. Oke. Lucius Imrik. Ya udah dah, lu ikutin situ terus dia sama kayak gue. Ini streamnya matiin aja. Terus kalian mau ngetes ini apa? Streamingnya kuat gak sih? Apa PC gue yang udah nggak kuat? Coba ya kalau ini gue naikin nih sistem grafiknya, naikin jadi high desktop apply. Close. Lu atau level berapa itu?
511.
Wah, gedean lu, Ron.
Ya gue beli semua kan.
Gue cuma 508 ini.
Ini? Belum.
Iya,
Stand by the boat.
West. Ada kaskin. Kalau udah ngomong.
Power of Zod.
Udah buka.
Dah.
Tuh, nge-lag loh kalau di udah ya, gue daftar ya. Dungeon Endwalker, Power of Zod. Tuh, kalau apa? Kalau grafik settingnya gue naikin, ini gue jalan aja kayak nge-starter gitu loh, tek ngelek nggak enak jadi. Harusnya di dungeon harusnya lebih aman lah ya, cuma berempat doang. Kok lama ya? Oh, pas.
Wah, lama deh gue tungguin kalian nonton.
Iya ya, ngelek loh. Kayak nggak kuat ini. Kayak starter gitu, patah-patah gitu.
Ya, saatnya ganti.
Aduh. Coba deh ntar.
Apa sih apa? Set ya. Beli.
Lupa ngomong squid. Masa cuma 3 Ron nih? Malu-maluin aja, Frontier nggak boleh 3 lah. Nah, seenggaknya ngambil yang ini nih. Sini tuh.
bos nih.
Manusia.
Apa tuh di belakang tuh?
Ngerti gue orang. Nggak tahu. Ini pertama kali gue. Itu apa?
Apa sih itu? Jam 9. Gue mati ke situ tuh.
Oh. Oh, dia keluarin jurusnya di situ, keluarin jurusnya. Aduh, gua kagak ada.
What is that? Itu. Ada loot? Oh, ada.
Ya, kagak ada dong buat kita. Peloton. Hah?
Impact tag-nya apa nih kalau cuma satu gitu?
Oh ya, damage kecil aja.
Mana nggak ada apa-apa.
Ya sama dong. Ada di Sandurufa.
Level berapa tuh, Chat?
520. Manusia besok.
Apa nih?
Ya stop apa?
Kursi lo.
Suruh ngapain?
Nggak tahu.
Oh. Ya.
Aduh, tak gue.
Pas kita stop, kita nggak boleh di situ.
Apa nih? Confused.
Oh yang ini Ron, ini yang sini, yang sini.
Ini mana? Ini.
Ke gue. Mepet sini. Kan di stop nih kita nih, ada 7 detik kan. Nah, kita ini jangan, nah, dia kan kayak nge-cash begini nih.
Benar gua. Ini tau yang mana cat targetnya?
Yang diem, yang kagak ada, ini yang ini lihat kan nih, tempat gue nih.
Dia lu tembak.
Di sini dirinya di sini. Nah. Prakarya Cindy. Manusia.
Ada apa-apa.
Browser namanya manusia. Manusia coba pakai I ya. Jadi bahasa Indo orang.
Manusia celana.
Manusia celana. Waduh. Ini ngepulnya pelan-pelan aja kali ya. Ya sama ini lah ya. Suara efek ininya kayak jadi bikin
efek apa tuh?
efek yang kalau lu berhasil combo kan kayak ada bunyi cing gitu loh. Nah ini ada trisipa. Nah itu ada aiming, gladiator, paladin. Protect the tower.
Kalian nonton ya. mati.
Break Ron, senain 3-3 ya Ron.
Apanya?
Limit break, main 3-3-nya. Ya bener kayak gitu. Lu naik level gak bro? Nah Ron. 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 Tes. Halo.
Ada item cuma dapat satu.
Apa sih? Conjurer lah jadi udah. Manusia, Sabaton Offending. Lo di akhir dungeon pasti dapat satu orang.
Oh berarti gua dapat 2 item doang.
Iya ya, nggak kuat lu kalau sambil streaming pakai apa grafik yang itu. Buset deh. Ya, tapi at least ketahuan sih jadinya, nggak bisa grafik.
Is everyone alright?
Dungeon sebelumnya kayaknya bosnya nggak se-hektik yang tadi ya.
Have the defenses been disabled?
Oh,
All
yeah?
appears quiet for the moment.
Dia kayak macam kayak boss rate yang itu ya, yang konsol ya.
Bos jadi satu gitu.
Baru di Captain Magic terus pada momen.
Lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart.
Nonton ya.
Iya.
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point.
Kalau kayak tadi gitu, kenapa gua pas komen gak ada pilihan lu ya?
Oh, karena kita satu
Karena
party.
satu party. Oh.
Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. There is something there embedded inside the core. A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
And that should be the end of it.
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction does appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
Prisoners below.
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
What happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many of you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more proxies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Itu naik level gak, Ron?
Naik.
Naik, gede berarti.
Yang bedanya kan biasa naik level.
1 ya. 82.
Berapa dungeon sih?
Setiap 2 kan? 71, 73, 75, 77, 79 sama kok 77, 81, 83, 85, 81, 83, 85, 87, 89 sama terakhir ya 90. Terus sama nanti level 90 kan ada kebuka lagi kan dungeon yang high level ya kan. Ya, segituan. 10-an, 11 kan. Enter nonton video party avatars to make them video terus di situ. Dan ke distressed and ready to set up. Mega Duta, namanya tuh nama malai-malai gimana gitu. Tadi sih bos terakhir agak hektik emang sih ya, nggak yang mirip kayak begitu tuh itu Ron, ada satu dungeon tuh dulu tuh yang kayak begitu.
Itu 3 bos jadi 1 kan?
Iya, 3 bos jadi 1.
Ya nggak semua gitu ya?
Iya, tapi nggak semua jurusnya ada sih. Kalau semua jurusnya ada sih ribet sih. Jadi mitik Ron. Semua jurusnya ada. Kalau yang itu ada yang stop sih. Waduh. Sama yang pertama dia ini ya, yang pertama dia kayak bisa ngasih proxy ke jadi spellnya munculnya tuh di sebelah sana gitu. Gue tadi kena mulu tuh. Manjusaka 382 nih. Jadi pokoknya lu setiap kali dungeon pasti dapat satu equip yang lu belum pernah dapat. 520 lumayan.
End of dungeon.
Hah?
End of dungeon ya.
Maksud lo apa nih secara experience?
Ya di end of dungeon kan.
Oh iya betul ya. Jadi end of dungeon ya dapat 1. Tadi gue dapat sepatu tuh dari situ. Level 82. Gila ya, PC gue main FF14 streaming nggak bisa high loh ini sekarang. Udah uzur.
Upgrade lah.
Jadi kalau misalnya nggak ini Ron, kalau misalnya nggak streaming kuat, tapi kalau dipakai buat streaming jadi loyo.
Bedanya apa ya?
Dia kan ini soalnya kan streaming kan juga ada makan ini kan resource kan, makan RAM, makan prosesor. Ini kalau VGA-nya sama prosesor yang nggak kuat ya jadi begitu. Upgrade paling cuma upgrade prosesor ya. Kalau upgrade VGA, aduh, VGA harganya
Bang, lu sekarang pakai apa?
2080.
Enggak itunya, prosesor.
Prosesor yang i7 6000 generasi ke-6 Ron. Generasi ke-6 5 tahun ini gua rakit 5 tahun yang lalu.
Nanti kalau upgrade apa? Ryzen.
Ada Intel yang baru sih tuh, baru keluar tuh. Intel yang generasi 12 bagus tuh. Gua lihat-lihat. Secara performance sih menang itu ya, menang Intel ya. Cuma kalau secara apa namanya? Power sama apa bilangnya jadi tuh hah? Jadi
harga?
Harga nggak juga ya. Harga justru Intel lagi agak bersaing tuh. Kecuali si Ryzennya motong harga lagi. Jadi si Ryzennya ini lebih bilangnya lebih apa sih kalau listrik itu bilangnya kita energi. Iya, bilangnya lebih efektif, bukan efektif sih, bilangnya lebih apa ya? Ya lebih itulah. Jadi dia makan wattnya itu nggak segede si Intel. Si Intel lebih gede sekarang. Emang lebih bagus performance Intel. Kalau harga sih ya 11-12 kayaknya mirip-mirip. Malah Intel lebih murah kemarin gue cek nih. 7,5 juta Alpha, 7,5 juta. Itu prosesornya doang, Ron, belum beli motherboard ya kan, terus mesti beli ya kan, prosesornya 7,5 juta, terus mesti beli motherboard kan. Motherboardnya aja kemarin gue cek udah 5,5 tuh, berarti udah 7,5 tambah 5,5 tuh udah 13. Terus mesti beli cooler baru kan, karena dia kan soketnya kan soket baru tuh. Jadi coolernya mesti beli cooler baru, itu harganya udah keluar 16 juta itu pasti.
Dan upgrade yang bisa di
ya itu
ada buat sekarang aja.
Ya nggak bisa, ini motherboard gue ini udah paling mentok Ron. Paling mentok ini, udah nggak ada lagi. Iya, tapi tadi ya gue cobain dungeon lama-lama sama lu cuma berempat doang ya kita ya. Nge-lag, kurang ajar. Nggak bisa yang high.
Ya lumayan lah ya, satu hari 2,5 level lah.
Bukan main lagi lah, lumayan. Emang bisa targetnya itu sih Ron kalau gue dulu. Jadi pokoknya tuh lu main itu
dungeon gitu ya.
Iya, sampai dungeon betul lah. Dungeon itu kayak checkpoint, pokoknya abis dungeon tuh kayak udah cerita baru kan, bilang kan kayak chapter kedua, chapter ketiga gitu kan. Oke lah, udah sampai dungeon.
Ya, kalau skip terus sih gampang.
Iya. Kalau kayak gue nih mesti nyicil nih. Iya nih nggak bisa nih laptop. Arta Gading. nama tempatnya Arta Gading. Right. Ini tempat di Ratsatan ini Ron apa jadi tempat nongkrong kita nanti nih.
Apa itu kota gedenya gitu?
Kayak dalaran ya, kayak kalau dulu di Legend kayak dalaran gitu loh. Jadi kayak kota gede tapi yang ada ininya, yang ada apa bilangnya, yang ada ya bisa nuker ini loh, nuker apa token, nuker barang dari raid gitu lah bilangnya lah. Kayak apa kalau dulu itu kan, kalau dulu apa namanya? Kalau dulu di yang sebelumnya itu kan namanya Eulmore tuh, yang Eulmore Ron, yang gua kasih tahu lu tuh ada NPC buat nuker ini. Iya, kayak gitu. World of Toughness. Jauh banget yang piston configuration kalau standar. Paksa ya. Ya ini settingan laptop hack mendingan sih. Ini dia tadi. Wah berarti ini kalau gue daftar roulette leveling langsung dapat nih Ron nih kalau gue ini jadi tank nih. Dapat yang tadi tuh yang level 81.
Langsung instan lah.
Instan tring dapat kan.
Tapi kalau nggak quest dapatnya dikit kan XP-nya kan?
Enggak juga ya, lumayan.
Level juga gitu.
Iya, lumayan sih. Ya mungkin kalau sekarang mungkin kencang ya 8182, tapi kalau ntar kita udah apa? Kalau udah ini Ron, kalau udah apa? Kalau udah levelnya udah agak tinggi kan, misalnya kita udah level 84 gitu kan, ke dungeon itu ya jadi ya kecil sih, nggak ngepek.
Udah saatnya tidur ya. Level lah. Exit game. Lagi. Antri berapa nih malam-malam?
Berapa coba?
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Berapa Ron?
Enggak, langsung masuk.
Langsung masuk.
Ya malam gini kali sepi Jepang.
Udah jam 2:30 di sana.
Nah tapi ini mah kalau lumayan terus mah balik-balik udah 85, 84 kali Chan. Pas ketemu lagi. Gua free Chan.
Oke Ron.
Ya thank you Chan.
No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the high crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat Khan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Tis of no moment, a mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay, when war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom we must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. "'Tis a story from my youth,
many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsormr did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee. I knew it to be so. From man and dragon alike have I learned of thine exploits. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Kalau dinaikin dikit aja langsung tampaknya kita sudahi dulu sesi stream kali ini. Kita lanjut lagi besok ya. Thank you guys for coming. See you.